Does anyone have a question?
Stuart,
Yes?
it's Tonya.
Yes, Tonya.
I've recently been reflecting on how the body can be used as an instrument for spiritual growth. And obviously, you speak a lot about this meditation as the development of a chakra system within the body. Can you expound upon how our relationships to our bodies and listening to our bodies as opposed to controlling our bodies can be a part of deepening our spiritual practice?
Once a little consciousness is developed in a human being, and you just simply recognize that the chakra system exists inside the human body, and a little bit of consciousness makes us think we have to eat better food, we have to take care of ourselves, we have to exercise, we have to make sure the body is healthy. The body is really the chakra system are like altars in a temple, and the temple is the body. And our responsibility is to take care of this body. Look, as long as people are alive, there's always going to be something wrong with them. But we can limit that by the food we eat, by the exercise we do, by the people we interact with, by ultimately learning to transform negative energy into um, a positive force that helps us grow inside. Uh, you know, I've done a lot of work in my life with people that have been quite sick. And one of the things I realized early on, most of the illness that people have is a manifestation of deep-rooted tension. Tensions that are so deep they begin to almost erode the cells of the human body. And part of our responsibility is learning how to transform that tension into, an open heart, into love, into being a happy person. Part of our responsibility is going deep enough so that we can release these tensions that are so repressed inside us, they begin to eat away at our very well-being. So meditation is absolutely connected to the body. We're born here with bodies. Sometimes you wonder why, but we have to accept this fact. Then we have to accept the fact that we have to take care of our bodies. We have to transform deep-rooted tension into positive energy, into joy, into love. We have to, eat food that really is healthy food. Now, I can't define what healthy food is. Everybody is different and everybody's needs are different in terms of what they eat. You can't tell Tibetans living in Lhasa, to be vegetarians. They can barely find vegetables living 15,000 feet up in the mountains. At the same time, they have a deeply spiritual culture. So each and every person is unique. Each and every person has a unique body. But when you begin to do deep inner work, you discover the secrets that are hidden in remote areas of the body, the tensions that are hidden there, the kind of work that you have to do to release those tensions and free yourself from those tensions. All of this is connected with the body. And all of this is connected with learning, through consciousness, how to live a healthy life. And I think this is very important because people often take themselves for granted. They kind of psychologically and physically beat themselves up. They have enormous tension inside that eats away at their very system. And in most cases, I would say 95% of the people living, they do nothing about it. They exercise the body sometimes, and that's good. I mean, look, I go to the gym, I mean, 3, 4 times a week, and I try to get cardiovascular, exercise and stuff like that, but if you don't also strengthen the chakra system, that weakens, I don't care how strong your body is, that will weaken your link with higher energy in the universe, with the very food that is essential for building consciousness and opening a human being's heart. So we have to work on many different levels with ourselves and not take the body for granted and not take the chakra system for granted and recognize that it's a holistic energy and it all works together. It all works together. And I think to me, this is very important. I mean, look, I'm not a kid anymore, but I get to the gym 3, 4 times a week, do some exercise. And it's maybe not enough. And and then, I poor Jennifer, she does this wonderful stretching exercise. And every day I ask her to stretch me. It's like going to a hatha yoga class. And I realize that it's important to take care of the body. It's important to take care of the body. It is the temple where the chakras reside. Chakras are the altars and direct links between every human being and higher energy in the universe. If the body is not healthy, it makes it that much harder for us to keep the chakra system healthy. And then you discover it all works together. There's no, separation of body and spirit. It all works together. And then you extend it into everything you do in life, the jobs you have, the family you have, relationships, it all works together. The healthier one is inside themselves, the healthier their relationships are going to be with people outside themselves, in marriages and, relationships that we have with other human beings. So we need to build that inside. It enables us to not only connect with spirit, but to live in the world and to attract to us healthy situations, because that's what we give off. So the whole thing works together. And the responsibility of someone that does deep inner work, meditation practice, is to recognize this, not to spend your time complaining about the world and everything that's wrong with it. And yeah, it doesn't take a genius to recognize how crazy life is. It takes a remarkable person to fix themselves so that they can transform all of the objective world into a teacher telling us what we need to learn to grow. And this requires healthy mind, healthy body, healthy emotions, healthy everything. It's a holistic practice. And one can't separate one from the other. Look, I never look. You don't care if people are vegetarians and meat. I'm really not interested. In people's diets. Look. I lived. Didn't touch a piece of meat for I don't know how many years. But the whole thing is that nothing is going to make. I mean, Rudy. I once asked Rudy about this, and he told me, "Look, if you eat shit and you're pure inside, it'll turn to gold."
Mhm.
And it really hit the nail on the head. Yes. The whole problem is, are people clear inside? Are they open inside? Are they connected with spirit inside?
Mm.
That in itself will heal many, many physical problems. Not all of them. There's always going to be something wrong with somebody, always. Aches, pains, things wrong, you know? But those things that are wrong with us are also teaching us how more deeply connected we have to get with spiritual energy. And then it teaches us about what to eat that really works for us. Not that works for other people, but works for each unique individual human being. I hope that's clear, Tony. I don't know how to make it clearer. Does anyone else have a question?
Beautiful. Thank you, Stuart.
You're welcome.
Stuart, I have a question.
Yes.
So along that line, when we're trying to locate the subtle body, right, where the chakras and the energy, how best to be able to sense it, to sense it more, to feel it more, to understand what it is that we're looking
Listen,
for,
Faith,
I guess.
Faith, you're finding it, Faith. Look, I've known you for many years. You disappeared from my life for 20 years, you know? I see you today and I see a living miracle, how much you have changed and grown. And you're doing with this meditation practice exactly what you just asked. Now you have to have patience because it takes time to take the exercise deeper and deeper and deeper into yourself. So you're doing it. And I couldn't be more pleased seeing how much you have changed since you came back to do this meditation. You are doing exactly what you asked about, how to get more focused. You gotta go deeper. It takes time, takes, it takes incredible patience with yourself. And you slowly, gradually, incrementally get deeper inside yourself. So, my dear, you are doing it. And I think what you are doing and the faith that I knew before and the faith I know today, it's kind of a living miracle about the changes that are taking place inside you. That's how you do it. How you do it is what you're doing. So continue doing it. It's working. Does anyone have a question? Anyone else have a question they would like to ask? And I'd say that to everybody else. Continue doing what you're doing. I mean, look, everybody's sitting here with twinkle in their eye, And I think that's fantastic. There's joy inside them, there's love inside them. And probably more than anything else, there's quiet inside. So they can sit with that twinkle in their eye and connect themselves with spirit. I told you I've been doing this meditation for more than 50 years. And the only reason I do it, and I continue to do it today, it works. It works. There's no other reason. If this didn't work, I wouldn't be sitting here today. And I've done all kinds of stuff in my life, And when I found Rudy and I found something that really worked, I said, holy crap, learn this. And now many years later, decades later, I'm still doing it because it's still teaching me how to get deeper inside myself. And there's no limit to the amount of depth that exists within any single human being. It's like drilling for oil. You just got to keep going through bedrock until you hit the gusher. And there's bedrock ad infinitum inside every human being. and they're also gushes. You know, every step of the way, you hit another gusher. Let's call it inspiration. Let's call it some kind of intuitive connection with God. But those gushes of energy tell us we are moving forward. Does anyone else have a question they would like to? Okay, I just have a few announcements to make. One of them is that this Friday, I'm going away for about 4 or 5 days. There'll be no meditation this weekend. I'm exhausted. I really am. And I need to take a trip and just change the environment and come back with probably even deeper classes and stronger, which will benefit all of you as well as myself. So there'll be no classes through Monday night. Tuesday at this time there will be a meditation, and the class will go on as scheduled, usual classes. Also, there's a retreat coming up. If anybody wants to, still can, make plans to come, there are still open spaces. So, if you want to come to the retreat coming up, let me know. Let Jennifer know. Okay, thank you. God bless you all. And there'll be meditation tomorrow evening and then Thursday at this time. And thank you. Thank every one of you for being in my life and being here and working so deeply on yourself, making me work even deeper on myself. So God bless you all. I'll see you everybody soon.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Stuart.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Thank you, Stuart.
You're welcome.